Points to ponder for wall-hung toilets in your bathroom. Wall-hung toilets might be incredible for sparing space in your restroom, however, simply like any standard toilets, and there are issues that you can experience when you have one introduced in your home. There are commonly two regular issues that you are probably going to manage when you decide to introduce this sort of can, and we will talk about them right now. Now and again, after the wall-hung toilet's introduced, it feels very off when you sit on it. You may feel that it rocks or that it is very free from the divider. This is a typical issue that has a simple and straightforward fix. A latrine that is freely fitted on your divider will prompt different issues, so you must have it fixed as quickly as time permits. This can be fixed by having it expelled from your divider and have it reinstalled once more. If you have enough DIY abilities for this, you can do this without anyone's help, yet ensure you have an associate that will assist you with the establishment to ensure the can be joined to the divider snugly. In any case, on the off chance that you feel your DIY abilities are insufficient, you should bring in a specialist to do the establishment for you. Doing so will give you the affirmation that the divider hung can be introduced appropriately and safely. At the point when you attempt to flush you can and notice that the water spills into the divider, you ought to have it fixed promptly to abstain from experiencing progressively major issues later on. This is the second most basic issue concerning the use of wall-hung toilets. This happens when the pipes aren't appropriately associated with the wall-hung toilet. This sort of issue ought to be tended to rapidly as it might prompt further water harm on your divider, and you will wind up having more harm on your restroom, which can be meant costly fix costs. When you notice the hole on your divider, turn off the water supply to you can and expel the latrine from your divider. You should check your channels and ensure the funnels are all right, and afterward interface them appropriately to you can. If you have chosen to choose a wall-hung toilet, it is prescribed that you have it introduced by an expert the first run through to guarantee that it will be suitably secured on the divider utilizing the best possible mounting bolsters. To find out about the divider hung latrine establishment, guaranteeing that your divider hung restroom furniture was accurately fitted, utilizing adequately solid and strong fixings, is extremely significant. Your furniture needs to hold its load through its lifetime, just as the heaviness of water in the bowl, adornments, and supplies in the pantries and individuals sitting on the wall-hung toilet. No measure of good aftercare will protect the circumstance if the units were severely introduced at the start. After this, a great deal of furniture aftercare exhortation is acceptable sense. If you consider the material from which your restroom furniture is made, and nature in which it's relied upon to live, you before long acknowledge why aftercare is so significant. The washroom is in exceptionally sodden condition, there's steam from the shower or shower and sprinkles from your bowl, rehashed each morning and possibly every night, maybe a few times if you have a huge family unit. Each guest to your home uses the restroom, which expands the traffic. It's one of the most noteworthy use zones of the home. So your washroom furniture needs to adapt to dampness and continuous use. Regardless of whether your restroom furniture is produced using wood or a composite material, for example, MDF, it ought to be covered somewhat with a defensive substance to assist it with suffering standard washroom conditions. MDF will have an overlay or facade covering. Wooden furniture is probably going to be waxed, oiled, recolored, or covered with polyurethane. This defensive covering will help repel water to a more noteworthy or lesser degree for each situation. You can generally help, however, by cleaning up spills, to forestall recoloring, just as potential water harm, and pools of water when they happen. You ought to likewise guarantee that your restroom is kept all around ventilated. An unventilated washroom, loaded up with steam and built up normally, will never truly be dry, and your furniture will, in the end, endure. All restroom furniture ought to be cleaned routinely to forestall the development of residue and soil, which, just as being unattractive, can prompt scratches showing up on the surfaces of your furnishings. Wooden and veneered furniture should, what's more, be finished intermittently. Try not to finish more than once at regular intervals or somewhere in the vicinity, and guarantee you're utilizing the right sort of finish for the covering on your wood, a film of finish will develop something else, ruining the vibe of your washroom furniture. Ensure that you routinely clean cabinet sprinters and organizer relies on the entirety of your wall-hung toilet. Oil any pivots occasionally to keep them moving uninhibitedly. Soil or rust is frequently a giver when drawers and entryways start to stick or squeak, and you can arrive first and forestall this happening. Recollect that scratches and chips to washroom furniture will permit water to infiltrate, so attempt to keep away from unpleasant dealing with. Scratches on wooden restroom furniture can be modified with DIY materials, for example, wax sticks, while chipped or broke facade can be refollowed with craftsman's paste or fixed if a piece is absent. Huge harm to the cover or facade on an MDF thing will uncover the wood fiber center, which will, at that point, be inclined to absorbing all the water in the environment around it. This can be a ton of water, and it might prompt your MDF furniture distorting flabby. At last, ensure you focus on a particular aftercare direction given by the producer of your washroom furniture, just as remembering the broader exhortation given here. If it's taken care of appropriately and reasonably, your new toilets UK will keep going you quite a while, especially while choosing from the royal bathrooms.